Treasury is, in my eyes, one of the functions where you really have a great insight of a company. So the flexibility, you can choose actually. Everything materializes in cash. So whether you generate cash or you spend cash, as a treasurer, you can be involved in everything, in all the processes, if you want to.
Yeah.
So that made me think a lot of times, should I stay in Treasury or not? Well, I was in a couple of companies, and Treasury is in each company different.
I like the way that you kind of, I know people say like you're in the middle of everything, but it's sort of, I think, getting more important, the Treasury department. So not every company has a dedicated Treasury department. I think it's becoming more kind of relevant now. You're in the middle of everything, any new business deal. You're there as a specialist advisor in terms of any commercial deals that are happening. You make sure everything you could be involved in, a high-profile M&A, to making sure that payroll is happening and lots of projects that are happening, quite exciting, not exciting as well, Brexit things and technology. It just seems to be central to everything at the moment. That's why I enjoy it.
Yeah. Right.
No day is the same kind of thing. So.
What I find I love about it is the fact that you're interacting with the outside world so much. So it's with the banks and it's with other treasurers, it's the networking, and it's being outward facing. It's the fact that you're actually adding value to the future of the company. It's not backwards looking, it's forwards looking. So you're a value add. But I think there's also a drawback on that, because you're so concentrating on the forward and the outside world, the banking relationships and the networking and the ACT and the other events and things you go to, that you can easily forget to network inside, because actually your work doesn't really have an awful lot of connection inside, like an accountant's does or the legal team might have. And you're often forgotten about in Treasury when they're talking about strategy or talking about implications of the business direction. Treasury is not brought to the table as much as it should be, and so you actually have to make an effort to be more inward and connect yourself to the inside of the organisation.
I've enjoyed so many things, I can't really answer that. No, it's been fantastic fun. I never look back. I mean, for me, the big thing, especially working in a large corporation, is that in the first few years when I was doing accounting and budgeting and that kind of stuff, I never talked to anybody outside the company. Right. In Treasury, you're talking to lots of people outside the company all the time, and you get a reality check on a regular basis. People look at the business in a very critical way, and your job is to actually handle that, and it's much closer to reality, and then you get all the challenges of dealing in the markets and so on. I mean, there's just so many positives. And actually, as with most things, the real positive is the people.
I enjoy problem solving. I think, Treasury is like the heart, I think, of an organization, right? So money, cash drives all the business around. Usually they come to us when there's a problem, and we are the people that are going to be usually providing the solution to difficult problems. Yeah. So it's like puzzle solving. You have a lot of different things, and cash and liquidity in different areas, financing, and you try to match and find the best solution for every issue.
Lots of different things.
I have been in Treasury with 3 different companies, and I think what's exciting about Treasury is that you're in the interface between the financial markets and the company. Every company is different. I've worked in 3 different sectors, so the Treasury issues or the Treasury problems that you deal with are different. So it's really the diversity of the role, and also the ability to apply it in different companies in different industries. I think the skill set is transferable, and I've also spent time outside Treasury in other corporate finance roles, such as investor relations, M&A, and commodities risk management, and pensions. So I think it's a great role to apply also in related functions, and the skill set that you acquire, I think, is transferable.
Well, I think that it will always be challenging, because when you're a treasury manager or head of treasury function, you always have the issue that the CFO and the directors always come to you when something is wrong. They never come to you and give you applause when you do your job. They only come to you when money is missing or you have a financial exposure that you didn't know of, or there's a problem.
I think in most of the organisations I've worked in quite large, complex corporates. So I've done power, telecoms, most recently RAL, and it has been a good balance between, particularly at the recent role at Network RAL, a good balance between core treasury, day-to-day sort of cash liquidity management, as well as corporate finance. So, and a lot of debt issuance and financial risk management. So it's the variety. No one day is the same.